Hey there, Sarah.
Hey, Dave.
I feel
Happy
like
Friday.
happy Friday. I feel like it's been a little while, right?
Oh, yeah.
I
Since
realize
we
we
did
got,
this? Yeah.
yeah. The last couple of weeks have been nuts. I was, I don't know well, we've had some hockey tournaments on Fridays and stuff, and yeah, we just had a lot going on at work. So I set the timer to 10 minutes. We're now at 9 minutes and 36 seconds, and we have three episodes to talk through. I don't even know if you watched them or remembered them or anything, but
I don't remember a ton of them. I will be honest, and I didn't listen to the last one. So let's see if I could either fake it or you could fill me in.
I think, yeah. Well, perfect. Well, 3 weeks ago, I guess 2 weeks ago, inclusive, right? So Joe
Yes.
Cliggott was on. So Joe, I worked with, or never worked with him, but knew him throughout the world of Chicago architecture. He worked with a lot of common colleagues. We worked in the same offices, but at different times. Have you ever come across Joe in
No,
your work?
no.
Um, yeah, he was really interesting to talk to because he's a master team builder. Um,
Oh,
and it kind of took a while once we're talking through his story to really kind of understand. Um, he's at HKS, I believe it's at HKS.
okay.
Their goal, their company wide, their massive firm, and their company wide goal is to, be a world class leader in architectural design throughout the world. And he's like, all right, well, step one, we can't have our office in the suburbs of Chicago.
Okay.
We got to move downtown. So they like built out awesome space in the Inland Steel building, right, to
Oh,
compete in the
nice.
world.
Wait a minute.
Um,
Okay. Yeah, Chris worked in the Inland Steel building for a while. Wonder if they cross paths.
I don't know how long they've been in there, and that might have
Oh,
been the firm before that too. But it was really interesting, kind of hearing him talk about big firms really dialing in locally and saying, how do we really kind of not I hate the word restructure, but like rethink the way that we've operated in today's world,
yeah.
and the way they have specialists. So like sports stuff, instead of the Chicago office having their sports team dealing with the stadium, it's like, no, we have all of our leading sports people around the world who are involved in a project. And obviously, communication channels and all that are a lot easier now. So
Yeah.
um and taking in an age-old firm and evolving to that. I thought it was pretty cool. And he's just like such a down-to-earth guy who's just always smiling. Everybody loves him.
Great. It sounds great. What was I going to ask? So, oh, I forgot. Um, when did you don't know when they moved to the Inland Steel building?
I
When they
don't,
did?
because I think he's only been there a couple years in
Yeah,
HKS.
where
Most
were
of his
what
previous,
suburb were they in before?
I think they were by O'Hare because basically people would fly in and then you'd be close to the airport.
Oh, okay.
Well, and the other interesting thing that he said about that is back in the day, or historically, early in our careers and in his career in Chicago, uh, Chicago international firms were based in Chicago. Perkins and Will,
Yeah,
SOM, Getch, LCGA at the time. All those big firms were based in Chicago, but you didn't have New York-based firms with offices in Chicago
yeah,
necessarily. So it led to a very less than functional. I don't want to say less than functional because certainly Chicago architecture has historically been highly functional, but culturally very um, challenging.
yeah,
Right. And so then when they started mixing and having other firms like a LA office build an office in Chicago, all of a sudden it made all the Chicago architects be like, well, how come they don't work, 22 hours a day?
yeah.
Right. So
Interesting.
yeah, it started to bring in kind of a new energy and then this kind of cross pollination between different firm cultures that has happened, really just in the last 10 years or so. I thought
That's
all
cool.
that stuff was really interesting.
Wow,
Um,
that's interesting.
but yeah,
I guess I didn't.
Joe's a great dude. How about Adam Steiner? Did you watch Adam Steiner last
Yes,
week?
I listened to him for a chunk in the middle. And what were we listening to? Oh, you and I talked a little bit about it and how he's like, because he does what, mostly custom home designs.
Yep.
and how he's like, yeah, you guys in the remodeling world, that's like a whole nother level. You guys are at expert level. And I was just like, all right, I'm going to like turn up the volume a little bit here. What's this guy got to say? Yeah. And then that kind of, yeah, I liked, I related a lot to the same kind of things he would say about like wanting to have the parameters to kind of to flex in. Like I've always enjoyed remodels for that reason, and being able to have that containment of what can you do within the box. That's what I've always liked. So.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that was interesting because he doesn't like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the challenge. I think that's where we kind of thrive after doing it for a while and kind of, anticipating. But he does that in his houses too. And he's at this point, he's, designed thousands of houses.
Yeah, you still have a lot. You still have setbacks. You gotta, there's still a box, but.
Yeah, and he has the ability and, in his experience to project what's going to happen by moving something somewhere before doing it. So he's saying like a client's like, well, what if we put this over here? And he's like, well, this is what's going to happen if you do that. Right. We don't even need to draw it. I'm going to tell you exactly why. Now my whole bearing wall's off and my roof structure. Now I'm going to have to change the slope of the roof. It's this whole kind of organism that
I've always had a harder time envisioning, like that's a level of 3D thinking that I've always struggled with. I just have not, I mean, I could work through plans, I could work through elevations and even some exterior massing, but like thinking in 3D like that, I've never, it doesn't click with me still. Like I still struggle with that, which is probably why I like remodels so much. Cause you have those kind of, you've got some guardrails there that I don't always need to think about structure in the same way, or I guess, or like massing in the same way.
Well, I think in good design, it's the same thing. It's kind of the organizational partie.
Mm-hmm.
And we established those in existing houses where you have that load bearing wall and these different things.
Yeah.
And you start to visualize what the organization of it is, not just in how you move through it, but how the thing's supported and how that forms the exterior massing of it. And it's such, in probably the last 30, 40 years, none of that really mattered anymore because you get LVLs and all these other things. You throw a bunch of steel in there and then you can put stuff wherever you want and bury columns and all this weirdness.
Sure.
In a lot of ways, the floor plan culture of like, make this room a foot bigger, move this over here and kind of morph this thing has really, eroded the organizational design structure of a house. If you look at the custom houses that we've designed and built, there's a very clear organization to them when you look at them in section.
Yeah, right. Sure.
So it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I mean we haven't done too many brainstorming or even like designs of custom homes, but we've had a couple land on our plates that have been really, really large. And I would say that's when like the partie starts to disappear a little bit. Like at some point, like you need those, at some point, like it's just too big for it to really read in a way that makes it read as a clean architectural plan. You know what I mean? Like in that hierarchy of space, like, so like our smaller ones, like, when we did a Western Springs custom home, and when I say smaller, I mean like smaller than, it's still a really nicely sized house, but like those I have a much easier time understanding and even describing the hierarchy of space and the plan and the procession and things like that. But once things get way too big, like that is a huge challenge. That is the really big behemoth custom home world. I still don't know how people, I think it's a totally different mindset that I don't have.
But I think it's the same process. It's just in the design, the morphing and kind of the sculpting and adding the stuff and pushing and pulling. At some point you get to this thing and you kind of have it, but you just have to scrap it. You have to look at everything you learn from that and relay it out and say, okay, this is a 24-foot module. This is a 22-foot module. Can they both be 23 feet, right? Can we start to find these balances? And we're designing everything 3-dimensionally. So it's a lot of work to get to that thing and to shape it.
Sure.
And then, yeah, unfortunately, you just, there goes my timer.
10 minutes. Wow.
Yeah. That was quick, wasn't it?
Cut him off.
We didn't even get to Ben.
I know, that's right. That's why I didn't hear.
You haven't watched it yet anyway, but Ben Blodgett from TDS and Madison was on Wednesday, and super fun to kind of talk about his company, his path from farmer to carpenter to manager to owner. It's kind of a neat story, and all the mental heartache through the 6 years of figuring that out. And now he's been running the company or owning the company for 5 years. So it's really cool. So that was a fun episode. Great dude.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I've met him a couple times before.
Do you know who I have on next week on Wednesday?
I don't look ahead. Should I be?
No, you don't have to. I was going to surprise you. Nora Boyle.
No way. Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a former homeowner client of ours. She and her husband and 3 children. We ripped the roof off of their house and built up on top of it and blew out the whole first floor. It was pretty cool.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about that, and then she also works for Hardy. So
James Hardy.
We'll roll some building product conversation into it along the way.
Very cool. Oh, I'll definitely listen to that one.
That's going to be fun. All right. Yeah. Well, we're over time as usual.
All right.
All right, Sarah. See you in a minute.
Okay. Bye.